Yo, what's up, dogs? I am back once again, and this time I have a movie review for you. And today we are going to be talking about a little film called Fight or Flight, starring Josh Hartnett. And just so you know, from this point on, I may or may not spoil the film, and I just wanted to give you a warning because it might happen. So if you're interested in watching this movie, pause this, come back another day, and watch my review for it. Otherwise, here we go. Now, before I start with the review, I'd just like to give you a little something. I went to the theater last week Thursday opening night, 6:50 p.m. showing with my friend Joe. We haven't seen a movie together in a long time, so I was looking forward to it. We got some concessions and we went to a good old fashioned regular screening, 1080p. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, there was only three people in total between me and Joe and some random dude that came and watched this movie. And he had a good time, the random dude that is, like, because he was laughing at all the random jokes and stuff in that. And, like, I laughed every now and then, but the jokes, the comedy in this didn't land for me as much as it did for that one guy. However, the action sequences, that is what I paid the money for. I was looking forward to seeing an action movie, and I have to say that the action sequences in this movie delivered. Yeah, I think they delivered actually when I sit there and think about it some more. They delivered. However, the story and the plot and the way to get to these action sequences, silly and pointless and kind of dumb. And you know what I'm saying? So here we go. Let's just talk a little bit about the story, okay? I'm going to try not and ruin everything here for you. So, Josh Hartnett plays a character named Lucas Riaz, and we were introduced to him. He's downtrodden on his luck. He's in Bangkok, okay? And there's a series of events going on in the world, unbeknownst to him, being handled by a character named Aaron Hunter, who's played by Julian Kostov, and he's a Secret Service agent. And he has been tracking down a character that goes by the name Ghost, played by Katharina Chandran. I hope I pronounced that correctly. Um, and she is known as the Ghost and a very elusive person. And she is known for doing many, many heists around the world that have crippled agencies and democracies and countries to their knees. And she's a person of high interest that they need to find and get ASAP. Now, the leader of this organization of secret agents is Catherine Brunt, who's played by Katie Stackhoff. And they know the location of the ghost, and that person is in Bangkok, but they do not have any agents that are available to go and apprehend this person. So, Catherine decides to call her friend, Lucas Riaz. And just so you guys know, they are not friends at all. Lucas absolutely hates Catherine with all of his heart. However, she has convinced him that she will give him a clean slate of life because he's on the run for things that we'll find out in the story as the movie progresses. And he is tired of running, and she is like, I will hook you up and get you a clean slate, so to speak, if you can capture the ghost who is going to be on a flight from Bangkok International. So he decides to take on this case. And I want to say that they do not introduce this character cool enough because we are supposed to understand that this guy is a bad hombre. Like, she doesn't want to call him unless it's like an absolute last resort thing. I don't even know how she knows he's in Bangkok, but she does. And they don't show a good fight sequence here. They introduce some villainous people who are standing behind him at a bar, but they cut away and show all these bodies getting taken out of the bar, as in to imply that Josh Hartnett's character, Lucas, has single handedly destroyed these men, and he is like top of the line killer. Like, he is a John Wick. Anyways, he gets on the plane. And on this plane, we hang out like majority of the movies on this plane set, okay? And it's really reminiscent of like uh geez, what's a good plane movie? I can't think of one right now. Under Siege 2? No, that's a train. It has under siege moments though, like one and two, where Josh Hartnett is trying to avoid all this plane full of killers, because what happened is supposedly some information leaks out, and everyone on the plane knows that the ghost is there and they are trying to kill her. So the plane itself is full of murderous hitmen that are after the ghost for a big bounty. But what happens is some cahoots is you learn about the cahoots, but everybody that's on this plane is also after Lucas Reyes. Actually, they're after Lucas Reyes more so than anyone else because no one really knows what the ghost looks like yet. So there's a ton of people out there just trying to beat the crap out of Lucas, right? And one of the first people that we are introduced to as the main villain here, and he's not even the main villain, he's the one who kind of jump starts the whole event, so to speak, of everyone coming after Lucas, is a character named, I think his name goes like as like Cayenne, and he's played by Marco Zaror. And honestly, he reminded me, if they ever did a live action Mike Tyson's Punch Out movie, he would play Don Flamenco 1000%. As soon as I saw this dude, I'm like, that's the boxer that you would play in this movie if we had it, right? And he's a very charismatic kind of character. He gets his butt handed to him, and this is like the first fight we actually get to see with Josh Hartnett, and really show off his hand to hand combat skills. And the action is good. It really is. Like once we get past all the fluff of the setup to get us to the plane, and this is where pretty much the movie just goes from 0 to 100 of just like we're fighting all the time, and it ramps up as you go, and that is like the bulk of the movie, and that is where the fun of the movie is when Lucas starts beating up everybody, and like he's always fighting somebody, and then we kind of figure out who the ghost is. And it's revealed that this character's name is Aisha, and she is a stewardess on the plane, and that was like her way of getting out of there because no one knows what she looks like, so she figured she would just blend in and be a stewardess with these other co-workers of hers. One is Royce, who's played by Danny Ashok, I hope I pronounced that correctly, and Garrett, who's the lead of the stewardesses or stewards, played by Huey O'Donnell. And these two characters in general are there for really mostly comic relief, and honestly they kind of just disappear majority of the time when stuff happens on this plane. Like they're there for some ha ha ha, and then it just disappeared. You never really see them again. Like Garrett pops in and out, but like Royce shows up for a little bit and then he's gone, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, that's pretty. Like, I'm just saying, like the rest of the movie is just nonstop fight sequences, and that's the fun of this movie. Like it's I would say out of everything, it is a really good action movie once it gets to the action because some of the scenes are like brutal, like John Wick style of combat sequences and decapitations and chokeholds and arm breaks and leg breaks and stabbings. There's a ton of blood in this movie, especially once the chainsaw gets introduced. And there's a freaking, not an ice pick, but the pickaxe that is used for climbing ice. There's like a lot of different things going on in this for fight sequences when it comes to interesting tools, interesting weapons, and interesting scenarios that puts Lucas into to how is he going to handle fighting all these people. And there's multiple people. Then there's even like a drug-induced fight sequence, which I would like to point out with this character here named Cat Eyes, played by Nora Trocan, I hope I pronounced that correctly. Total wasted villain because they show her a couple times on the plane, like focus on this character, like she's supposed to be special. And when I saw her, I'm like, ooh, there's going to be a good fight sequence here. And they would show her again. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait to see what this is going to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, please show me this. I can't wait. And I'm going to be honest with you, they wasted it. They totally wasted it. They didn't use her to my expectations at all, and I was a little bummed by that because I was expecting some really good hand-to-hand combat from her. I'd also like to point out that before I forget, that Aisha, aka the Ghost, has actually like bodyguards, and one of them is Master Lane, and she has like two other sidekicks. It's freaking awesome. And Master Lane is played by Juju Chan Setso. I hope I pronounced that correctly. And they're awesome. Like they're just fun. Like uh, everyone dies in this movie, guys, so don't get attached. But it's just a fun sequence of like very B movie elements, very grindhousey at times too, which I appreciated when they showed these bodyguards that just appear out of nowhere for no reason. And I'm like, man, these guys are just doing some like good old fashioned kung fu exploitation, martial arts exploitation film concepts. And I was like, I'm enjoying all of this, but I would like to just preempt, like, just to emphasize that the story and the story sucks. Like, you eventually just don't care about the story. I don't even care. The story doesn't even. I don't care. I honestly don't care about anything about going on in the story of this movie. This is purely for pure. If you like action sequences, John Wick stuff, Sisu, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of cool action sequences, and you like certain B movie grindhouse exploitation stuff, it's in here as well, and that is the core of this movie, and that's what I really liked about it. But I'm going to tell you guys all honestly, you might just want to save a couple dollars. You know what I'm saying? Go and see it on a cheap night if what I just said like really excites you. But if you want to save a couple bucks, I would probably say wait till it comes out on streaming and enjoy it at your own leisure. You know what I'm saying? That way, I'm just being honest with you. I paid full price to see this film, and I loved all the action sequences, and I'm a different person because I love action. So if you're like me, maybe you'll enjoy it. So that's all I have to say about this movie. Would I own this film? That's a good question. Um, I love action movies. So I don't know though if I would actually go out and buy this film and put it into my collection because it didn't really stand out as like this is special. Like Sisu was a movie where I'm like I need to own this and watch it many times. It was something special and unique and I love that movie. I'd have to think about this. This would be I wouldn't be upset if someone bought it for me for Christmas. How about that? I would not be upset to have it in my collection. Um, but I don't know if I would actively go out of my way to buy it like day one. That's an interesting question. I don't know, my friends. Anyways, that is all I have to say about Fight or Flight. I hope my review and my story synopsis didn't spoil anything and it made you kind of interested in the movie, or maybe not. Maybe you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm going to wait. Anyways, leave a comment below. Let's discuss the movie a little bit further. If you have any questions, I will answer them as always in the comment section below. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell because I'm always reviewing movies, TV shows, and obviously movie trailers. And on that note, my friends, I am out of here. It's almost the weekend. We got one more day to go, and we're there. Don't work too hard, my friends. Peace out. Bye. Oh, and you know what? Whatever movie you're watching, I hope you're enjoying it and loving it. Peace out, guys. Bye.